You don't see us. This says that we are.
It might take a second.
Oh wait, maybe this. Let's try that. Boom, that should do it. That should do
Excellent.
it.
Oh my God, there we are.
Cool.
Oh, there's a lag. I can't watch this.
Yeah, don't watch that.
Definitely don't watch with a lag. Yeah. You can not look at that if you don't want to. Cool. Fuck, I'm so flustered.
Take a second.
Take a second, dude. We have
Take a
time to
breather.
get to work, man.
Okay.
It's time to get to work. You know. What I'm
Happy
saying?
New Year.
Is that loud?
That was good.
You sure?
Yeah. Multiple was pretty loud.
Yeah, it adds up.
It adds up.
No, I don't think that's how it
Is that
works.
how volume works? Nope. If you do it more, it gets
No,
louder.
it feels like it though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see. Morning. Welcome to Don't Feed the Artists. I'm Hagen.
I'm Dave.
I'm Adam.
Now I'm Jackson. I thought we were doing like a speed run.
That was really good.
Yeah,
that was
thanks.
fast. That was incredible. Holy shit.
Real fast.
He's well rested from his vacations.
Yeah. Did you guys have a good
Oral.
vacation?
Yeah, I did.
No.
I don't think Hagen did
I had
though.
fucking none.
Yeah, before we started this,
Same.
Adam and I and Dave was the one who brought it up. He was like, "Yeah, it's been like a month since we did an episode," and Hagen was like, "No, I didn't get any time off." And I was like, "Oh, okay." Different things we're talking
I
about.
didn't understand that part of it. I thought you were just saying like time off, and I was like, oh well, my boss had to pity me and give me a day off. So
But that was good, though. It equaled you having like 3 days off.
yeah, because you put it in the middle of like
Yeah.
other days off.
That's
I
pretty
had.
good.
So it worked out. It worked out. Yeah.
Have you guys ever taken a day off in your life when it's like, I'm not talking about for a vacation, just a like, hey, I'm going to take a day off and just like sit around the house or like go do errands. Have y'all ever done that?
Yes.
Okay. Dave?
You mean on a regularly scheduled work day?
Yeah. Like
No.
just like,
Yeah,
yeah.
he doesn't mean like Sunday or
Yeah.
Well, you work.
No.
But you know what I mean.
I have like, yeah, I've never done it. And I like talk to people at my job about this all the time of like, why do we only take days off when we have a vacation? Like, how come none of us are just like, I'm going to take Thursday off. I'm tired.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
come none of us
I
do
think
that?
that's normal. I do that.
Yeah,
You do that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I used to especially take a lot more like mental health days where I would just be like, nah, fuck it, I'm taking the day off.
I think it's definitely healthy. But here's my thing is like, I'll do the same. I will do mental health things, but I'll find it like, okay, I want a long weekend. I need like Friday off or I need to take
I see,
Monday
I
off.
see, yeah.
And then I find myself like, all right, I'm coming up to Denton or I'll go to Austin for the weekend. It's just like, how come I can't just like take that extra day
Sure. Yeah.
and just sit at my house
I think
or
that's
go to a movie?
I'd say that's the hardest part in almost any scenario of taking any time off because you're just like you want to use that time for something. But like, and I ended up using my time off I was pretty busy except for one day. I was like, I'm gonna stay in bed for a while.
Yeah.
That otherwise, yeah, it's hard. It's hard to get up.
I think in like early high school, I had this fantasy, like this like quote unquote bucket list, which for a high schooler means nothing.
You put a bunch of pieces of paper in a bucket.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And Morgan Freeman was there and Michael Caine.
One more
A
time.
bucket. Oh, the movie.
Hello, my name is Michael. No, that was David Attenborough. Hello, I'm David Attenborough.
That was good. That was
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, so like on that bucket list was like laying in bed all day, like not getting out of bed at all. And now I think of that and like, oh, that sounds like the shittiest day of my life.
Oh, depression. Yeah.
Yeah. No, but as a kid,
I've done that.
As a kid,
As
I
a
was
kid,
like,
depression sounds sick.
as a kid, I'm thinking like, oh, I'm gonna be like John Lennon and Yoko Ono, just chilling in bed. Like that's what I'm thinking. Watch 500 Days of Summer. Maybe
Yeah.
text some girls, that kind of shit.
Text some girls.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
text
talking
them.
about.
Hey, girl, you want to be my Yoko for the day?
Yeah. Somebody brought up during our break, the break that we all collectively had.
We all had it.
that like a year ago, we all during the Thanksgiving break, watched that Get Back
Yeah, we
documentary.
all watched the Beatles documentary.
Somebody brought
We
that
did
up
do
to
that.
me.
I think it was me. Didn't I bring it up to you?
I don't think it was you. I think it was like a parent, and then like you heard it at the same like holiday party we were
Yeah.
at, and I was just like, oh fuck, like I was shell shocked. Like
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I hated that documentary. I was so mad. I spent my like break doing that.
It was a long thing to watch.
Yeah.
It was a
rough.
very long thing.
Even
to
knowing
watch.
it was going to be, what, 6-7 hours going into it, it was
Yeah.
longer than that.
It felt very long because like
Yeah.
there were so many parts where it was like something is happening and this is cool, but the majority of the time it was like, I don't want to watch these guys just fucking sit in a circle and be like, so what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I still have a screenshot in my phone of the part where Ringo's sitting there and he goes, "I faulted."
That's one of the highlights for you.
That's one of the highlights of that, at least that day of the recording.
That's
It's
so
a
good.
pretty big highlight. It's a pretty big highlight.
Do we have any way you're wanting to start this discussion or recap of 2022?
No, I just have. I mean, we can start it with either like an album first. Someone says their album, or we can go through like 2022 in music. Before we do that, though, I have Adam brought Cancel Bucks,
I did.
and
Dave has 4 of them currently.
No, is there only 4?
There are 4.
It's not how that
but
works.
I also brought.
Is 4 not
koozies.
enough?
So
yeah.
you got it perfect, awesome.
I've been waiting. I had it under my thigh. Like I was like, I don't want to ruin this.
Boom. Now we all have our Don't Feed the Artist koozie, which is available to you never.
Yeah. Well, just message us. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I mean, if you really want one, I'll sell mine.
Give it back.
What a dick.
Your
own personal
one?
Give it back.
Oh, album.
You'll sell it for how much?
I don't know. Make me an
eBay.
offer.
Just put it on eBay.
Make me an offer.
Here's a good way to start this. I mean, we don't have to talk about like specifically everything in the year, but like just a general, what was your vibe on, how did you feel now that we've wrapped up 22?
Officially,
in
well
music?
into 23, yeah.
I will go ahead and start of like, I thought it was a great year for music. I don't think that there was like any one like defining record or anything like that. I'm wanting to get less away from like albums of the year, movies of the year, because I think it's just like it's always like it leads to this like commoditization of it of
Yeah.
like, well, you're like, oh, that was my favorite movie that year, and then you never watch it again.
Yeah.
So like, I don't feel like there was an album so far that I can tell that was like, oh, that's the album that's going to be like 20 years from now. We're going to be like, man, that's so good. But all in all, that didn't mean it was a bad year. I thought it was a great year. There was consistently across the board, whether it was pop, rock records, or like even folk records, that it was just consistent.
Yeah, we've talked about this before, but I kind of felt like the whole year was like, oh, this new album came out, and then I listened to it for a week, and then I'm like, at the end of the year, like, oh, I forgot about that album.
Yeah. That happened to me so much with this year. It was like it felt like so many albums I fell in love with, and I just would listen to them hardcore. Like the May Earlwine record, I was super excited for that. It came out in
I'm sorry,
May.
what?
May Earlwine.
Okay. You
And
said that real quick.
May Earlwine?
I said the other day, Darren Aronofsky, really quick, and somebody said, was that guy's name Darren Era? I was like, I fucking wish.
But I listened to that album like a ton for 2 weeks, and then I didn't touch it again. Like I was reminded of it recently because I was listening to my like Apple Music replay, and so like multiple songs from that album came up, and I was like, oh right, that was a great album. But that's
Yeah.
it. That's it. Like there was just, I feel like the output was really good, but there was a lot of it, and it was kind of hard to. I don't know if keep up's the right way to think about it, but it was really hard to find the interest and keep the interest, I felt.
I feel like if you have that feeling of I want to listen to new things all the time, it's hard to really, develop that long relationship with a song or an album.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I guarantee, like in middle school or elementary school, when we're talking about our like defining records, like, how often was I listening to like Green Day's American Idiot? Probably like all the time. I didn't just like listen to
Yeah.
it when it came out and then just kind of threw it aside.
I also think about the fact that there's a lot of like definitive albums for me in that era, like in middle school and high school that were maybe had already come out. They weren't like new music. It was new music to me, obviously, but like the hunt for new music that I feel like we're on most of the time is like brand new, just come out stuff.
And when we do the album of the year for these year-end episodes, we pick an album that's come out in
Yeah.
the year, not
Right.
not necessarily the
And,
album
yeah,
that
not
we've
a-
listened to
right.
most in the year.
So Adam, What do you feel about the year?
I mean, I used a streaming service most of the year.
Welcome to
And
2022.
I know. Thank you, Jackson.
Incredible, really.
Still got some extra spots if any of our listeners want a free. I just have to tell you my address.
Well, do you want to do that?
He's
Not
already
gonna.
doxed himself.
That's fair. But I think I listened to more new music and kind of had the same thing you were saying, Hagen, about like realizing that I was listening to something and then didn't,
Yeah.
and then saw it again when like it showed up in a recommendation or something. And it was like, oh yeah, that came out this year. Like
Right.
the Weeknd's album that I can't remember the name of now came out
Dawn
last year.
FM.
Yeah,
And I listened to that a bunch when it came out, and then I didn't go back to it.
Does
When-
Tidal do a year-end wrap up?
Don't know.
Not in the same way at all. Yeah, which I honestly like that. Watching
Yeah.
those, like I get really just annoyed with
I mean,
them.
considering they come out in like November, yeah.
Right.
they're also like hyper cringe. Like they like the I
The
find
festival lineup.
I find that, and then like also like your genre was post-punk depression. Like what?
I just like to see how many minutes I've listened to Dawes. That's why I miss Spotify.
I'm just always curious on the back end of those because I know I've heard a lot of stories of like because they're not transparent. The streaming software, I mean specifically Spotify, is not transparent of how they're like determining. Okay, what's your like? What are the genre and the
Right.
Yeah.
all that they're sending to you? And like there have been examples of people being like, well, I listened to this Alex G song like every day this year and it did not even come up on my thing.
Yeah.
So like I'm always curious about the back end on that, how that works. So like I'm really skeptical of like, okay, what are they doing here? Is because they have like, they push the top earners in music more than they push anyone else. Like if Taylor Swift has a new record, despite even if no one's listening to it, they're going to push it harder.
Right. Yeah.
So like I often wonder on those year ends, are they doing that a little bit? But I don't know.
Like if you have a Spotify playlist with the brand new Taylor Swift record and an Alex G song,
Yeah,
you're
they're-
not going to hear that Alex G song until you hear every single Taylor Swift song.
And I have no way to prove that, but it's
Yeah.
more of just like I'm not upset about it. It's more I'm just curious.
Yeah, the Apple Music one was nice just because it was really simple. It was just like, here's your top 5 songs, here's your top top 10 or whatever, and then it gives you
Yeah.
a playlist. It goes here's like your top 100 songs of the year, and I was like, sick. This
Cold
is
hard data.
Yeah.
That's what I
That's
want.
kind of a cool way
exactly.
to do it, though, because it's not trying to get like social media reposts and everything.
I would say
I know they want that, obviously, but
I would say they still kind of do that because like, and here's the complaint no one cares about, but I'm gonna do anyway, is that if you have Apple Music and you do your replay, you have to it takes you to a link outside the app. It's not in the app.
That's annoying.
Yeah. So you're like, oh, I would love to see my replay. Oh, great. Now Safari's opening. Oh, great. Now it's like a horrible like experience to witness this, unless you do it on a computer. That's a little bit better. But it's like, this is super weird. Just do it in app. But
Yeah.
that's a complaint that no one really cares about. except
honestly,
for-
that's probably because they added that really last minute.
yeah,
to
yeah,
catch up with Spotify having that for I don't know how many years.
yeah, for sure.
I did have a little bit of a moment this year seeing all the Spotify raps going like, what are you guys doing over there?
Oh, dude.
Like I felt a little left out. Like I'm kind of miss Spotify.
I was
got-
like, what do you mean?
I got super triggered because everybody was making fun of all the people who have Apple Music when all that shit comes out, and I'm like, you fucking piece of shit. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I like Apple Music, so fuck you.
Yeah,
I'm
because
gonna fight you.
I started thinking like, why did I even switch to Apple Music? It was because Spotify sucks like big time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Like as a corporation.
yeah.
But like, am I really doing
But the-
anything by making that
Well,
switch?
the service is still good, right?
Yeah,
like
the
by all
service is
accounts,
great.
unless you're listening to podcasts on Spotify, it's not.
Yeah.
Those aren't good. But
Yeah. I mean, they definitely like of all of the like user interfaces, I would say that theirs is the best.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I think Tidal is the
I do
second.
like titles a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing I don't like about Tidal is like when you search, like, so if you're searching, I've been listening to a lot of Japanese bands recently, and like when you search them, so if I search a band called Number Girl or Boris, these are both like very popular bands, it'll like pull up like it'll say like producer, artist, all that. Like it's not the best search system, so like that
Right.
loses a lot of points.
Well,
for me.
because they have all that data and they want to show you who's the producer on an album or who's the songwriter. And
Exactly, which
it's
is
cool. You
cool.
can search it, but I don't necessarily want to search those all the time.
Yeah,
No,
that's
I'm
not,
not
that's not the
searching-
first search that I have.
Jack Antonoff produced
Yeah.
stuff or Ryan Tedder songs.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Can you
but, like-
follow producers and it'll
Yeah.
curate
Yeah.
like all the shit they've produced?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's really
Yeah.
cool.
It is cool, but like the search engine suffers a bit for it. So I think it's a bit half baked. They're almost there. But like similarly, like Hagen's wearing a Young Dean shirt. That's a Denton musician that just released a new record in this year. So we'll talk about it in a year from now. No, probably a week or two. But I wanted to listen to that, and finding that record on Tidal was just like, it took a while.
Yeah.
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 So-
That's a bummer.
So you guys want to do an album?
Yeah.
Okay, I got a random number generator up. Everybody pick a number 1 through 4. You can't pick a same one, so Hagen go first.
3.
2.
4.
Okay, I'm 1. So let's see. That didn't feel like it. Okay, 3.
I was gonna say that did
Nice.
something.
So my album of the year is Madison Cunningham's Revealer. I was the last one to send my album of the year, and
Why is that?
Well, yeah, I feel like I'm a bit dramatic. I feel like I have a flair for the dramatic. But I had a really hard time picking because of this issue of like, I don't know, like there's so many things I listened to, but I don't know what really stuck with me. Like there's things I'll come back to, and I narrowed it down to 3 albums that I really liked and listened to a lot this year. And the one that like stuck out the most in terms of musicality, in terms of lyrical content, and in terms of like just as a whole picture of an album was Revealer by Madison Cunningham. That album is beautiful. Her voice is insane. The guitar playing is wild. It was really funny because when we were supposed to record this episode, like the weekend before, I was on a trip with Matthew and the Arrogant Sea, and I asked the whole van what their album of the year is. Well, a member of Matthew and the Arrogant Sea, Jesse, is on this Madison Cunningham album.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Wow. And so I was like, they were like, what's your album of the year? And I was like, Madison Cunningham Revealer. and Jesse was like, oh, that's awesome. And I was like, yeah, I don't know why, but I'm really nervous to tell you.
Hey man, I really like that album you were on.
Yeah.
I get that.
But I absolutely love this album. It can be a bit of an emotional ride depending on like yeah. But it also is like there's a lot of like if you just listen musically, there's some upbeat like sections, a lot of really interesting stuff happening. And again, her voice is absolutely gorgeous the whole way through. Life According to Rachel, we talked about it when we talked about this album originally. That song is like it's a beat down, but it's so beautiful.
I just recently can listen to that song without crying.
Yeah.
How did you like find this album? Is this someone you've been following, or?
Yeah, so I can't remember the album she put out before this one, what that one's called. But that album,
Is it Wednesday in 2021?
No, Who Are You Now is the name of the album, and the song "Pin It Down." It was like it's a great introduction to who Madison Cunningham is as a songwriter. And when that album, like when I first heard that album and heard that song, I can't wait to see what she does next. It was a bit of a bummer in that regard because that album is really good, but when you listen to it, like at least for me, when I listened to it, I was like, this is great. She's gonna do something amazing, which is maybe not fair, but that's just how I felt listening to that album. So yeah, so since that album has been out, I've been waiting and following what she does next, and it was
this most recent one, Revealer, got a Grammy nomination.
Yeah, it did.
We'll see if she wins.
Probably not, but it's a fucking incredible album. For those who haven't listened to it, I highly suggest checking it out. I don't know if we all listen to each other's albums, but I hope you guys listen to this album if you haven't.
Did you listen to this album?
No.
43 minutes on the dot was too much to ask for, I guess.
Oh, for sure, dude. Definitely didn't listen to your fucking album.
Yeah.
Yeah, a long one.
Yeah.
It was going to be 44 minutes, but one of the songs, they were like, we can't do this. Put one of the songs at an odd time. Cut a beat.
What's the length of a LP? Like
40,
a vinyl record?
45 minutes or something.
Yeah, I always, whenever I see like a 40-minute record, I'm always like, I think you guys did this on purpose just so it would fit on like one record.
Well,
as
I mean,
opposed
yeah,
to
that
two.
used to be the case, and I think there's still probably are producers who have that mindset of like, it is kind of the perfect album length, as we've talked about before.
Right. Definitely cheaper, more consumer friendly.
Yeah, so that's my album of the year. There's definitely like honorable mentions if we want to do that, but that's the one that. So there's a metal band from the UK. They're called Ithaca, and their album "They Fear Us" is I think one of the best things to happen to metalcore in a long ass fucking time. It's got like really good riffs, really catchy. and the front woman is an excellent like screamer. If you watch the music videos too, they're very like there's a lot of cool colors and shit, especially for like a metalcore band in the modern metalcore scene to be doing what they're doing. It's not like the main reason I didn't pick that album as my number one is not because it's like a bad album by any means. It's just like it didn't have the same emotional effectiveness as Madison Cunningham's. And then another honorable mention is "Tell Me That It's Over" by Wallows. I listened to that album so fucking much. It's a great album, but again, it was more of like I just like this. It didn't have the same effect on me.
Yeah.
Cool.
Thanks.
Do you guys have any takes on that Madison Cunningham record?
I thought it was great. I've listened to it a couple times since you told us about it. So
Yeah.
I thought it was a very Hagen record. I thought it was good. I thought it was very similar to what was the guy you did last year? What's
Briston
his
Maroney?
Briston Maroney. I think I think it's very similar stuff.
I guess.
all right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
To me, it's more.
Probably a
I know
blind
what you mean.
spot for me.
No.
I feel like it was more like a me record because it has this kind of like it almost feels like it could be a math rock record, but also has like a Sarah Bareilles, like not all of it, but like the way she writes guitar riffs are very mathy, and they're
I guess
they're
I
very
need to
busy.
listen to this again. I missed that.
They're very involved riffs, so it's not like you listen to it and go, oh, this is math rock, but it has a lot of like this kind of I don't know. The guitar riffs are very pushing and driving, but they're very weird. They're not like super duper in your like. They don't make sense instantly.
Right.
I would say not at all. Like it takes a long time to understand what she's doing.
Yeah.
There's more going on than you would expect.
Yeah,
listening
yeah.
to the first like minute.
And if you listen to if you listen to the full album and pay attention to a lot of the percussion work too, there's a lot of really in-depth stuff there that is like that's not straight ahead rhythm stuff. Plus having that on top of beautiful vocals that if you wanted to equate it to I guess kind of like Briston Maroney, like really like clean beautiful vocals, right? But to me it just kind of screams more into like it's not Sarah Bareilles, but that kind of
Joni
vibe.
Mitchell.
Yeah,
is-
Joni Mitchell
yeah.
for sure is what she gets
Not to
compared.
pigeonhole either
Yeah.
artist, but
Yeah, she gets compared.
Dave
to
put me
Joni.
on the spot, so I'm sorry I said the Briston thing.
It's okay. You should just listen to the album again.
Okay, I'll try my best.
there's probably also something about it when you hear you go, this makes me think of it. This is a very much a Hagen record.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
know
I get
Hagen
it.
likes Briston Maroney,
Well,
so
'cause
that
you
pops
have,
in your head.
Yeah, you have the
Yeah.
context of
I
this
get
is his album of the year.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know what I would call that style of music like this and Briston Maroney, but like for some reason they feel very similar to me. And
Yeah.
like I feel like that is the type of music you're drawn to.
I think Wallows is much more in the Briston Park than
I haven't listened to that,
okay,
so
yeah.
couldn't comment on it. Couldn't possibly.
That's all right. That's all right. Do you guys want to do how 2022 was for the podcast?
Sure. How was it for the podcast, Adam?
I mean, it was great. It was great until we're recording our 2022 wrap up at the beginning of 2023.
Yeah. Shit.
Yeah, I thought that this year was really fun for the podcast. I liked.
I don't
switching
like that people can see us.
You don't like it?
I'm just
I'll turn it off. Actually, I can just move the camera so you're not in frame. Would you prefer that? Well, you can do that too.
I think
You
if I
usually do that.
I think I'm small enough if I get in the right position, it'll be
It'll
like,
be like
flat
you're
Stanley.
flat.
Yeah.
Like your 2D.
Yeah. You guys won't see me.
Yeah, I felt like this that this year for the podcast was, or 2022 for the podcast was quite fun. I think that I don't know if we really talked about it too much on air, but I think that the struggle that we end up always having is like, what are we going to talk about? But I thought that we still like hit the stride harder of being just like people who are friends and talk to each other.
Yeah, I think we really threw that by the wayside.
Yeah.
We're like,
Yeah.
we're gonna talk about stuff musically, but like, fuck it, let's just show up and do it.
We leaned into winging it.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
worked.
Well, and it's been we hit our 200 episode mark this year,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is like not
And we didn't know that we did that until
No.
afterwards.
Well, until like an episode later.
like two or three episodes later.
Yeah.
We switched to video, which is huge.
Yeah.
Or we
yeah.
added video.
Added video. So for the audio listeners right now who don't know, we are live streaming this. You can, obviously can't go and you
Well,
can go watch.
to be
the
fair,
VOD,
that's the
but-
first time we're doing the live
this
stream.
is
as
the
well.
first time we're doing the live stream, and I like doing live streaming stuff. It's particularly tough for podcasts, I think, because like one of the things is if we get like people involved in the chat, I think that it's like tough for us to like not look at it. So like we still want to like talk to each other and not. So but I the video thing was I love doing that. That's one of my favorite things is doing that kind of stuff. So
Yeah. You can see how absolutely yoked we all are.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck
Fucking-
yeah. That's why I love being. That's
Swole.
why I love being on camera. So people can see how fucking yoked I am.
Yep.
Check these fucking gains, idiot.
Yeah.
We had some real weird episodes too.
What are you talking?
In
What on
Give
earth
me-
are you talking about?
give me examples.
which
in the,
one?
in the realm of just like letting it fly and,
Oh,
and
sure.
hanging out with each other.
Yeah.
We've had some real weird episodes.
Yeah.
that's
Those
true.
ones without me. Fuck, they sucked.
What was that you said at one point? You got back from a trip and you were like, wow, I actually listened to the episode and I was like, oh, we're pretty good at this.
No, I was always planning on listening to it. And like every time I'm not on this show, you guys say like, Jackson's not going to fucking listen to this. And then start fucking
And then we shit talk.
Yeah.
shit talking me. I'm like,
It's a pretty good bit at this point.
I'm on like a plane each time. And I'm just sitting there like, why am I doing this? Why am I listening?
Oh, that's good.
Just eating fucking peanuts or some shit.
These
No, they don't.
fucking
They don't do that on
assholes.
planes anymore.
They don't give you peanuts
No,
because allergies.
Crackers.
you get like
Snack
you know,
mix.
Pretzels.
snack mix. Yeah,
Pretzels. Yeah.
Pretzels and those little cookies.
Those little cookies.
They're
Yeah.
so good.
Cookies.
Are they so
I
good?
have no
so
clue what you're
good.
talking
I think they're probably
about.
just so good on
No,
a plane.
it's-
Are you talking about like the biscuits?
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
the biscuits.
oval
Yeah,
shape,
yeah.
the ones that look like a pill.
Yes.
Yeah,
They didn't do that on my flight that I had in December. And I was
Scotties.
really annoyed because
Going
those are
to
so
Ireland?
good. So yeah,
Adam went to
I
Ireland.
did go to Ireland. It was great.
did they not give you a full meal?
No, they did. They did. They just didn't have the little cookies.
They didn't
that
have the
they were, like,
fucking
supposed
cookies.
to.
I wanted
It was
the
shepherd's
cookies.
pie.
No, they didn't do that.
Oh.
But they gave you a full meal.
Yeah, yeah.
But you wanted the cookies.
Yeah,
Was it
I
a bowl
wanted
of
the
Lucky Charms?
cookies? Were good. No, but there is a leprechaun museum.
Yeah, you take that. You take that.
Leprechaun music. Did
Yeah.
you go?
No, we didn't go. But part of the reason we didn't go is that people who live there absolutely hate that exists. And
Yeah.
they're like, they're
Really?
like, people harass people leaving that museum. And I'm like, yeah, that's fair. I would too. Like,
Yeah. Is that kind of like the Alamo?
Yeah, we hate that exists. Fuck that place. Knock it down. The Alamo is not
I don't know. I'm
exciting,
Canadian.
but like I don't think any of us hate that it's there. It's very small, so it's just like
surprisingly small
it's
for how
inoffensive.
much everybody talks about it.
It's not like it's like this massive thing that's just like, man, we're taking up so much city space. It's just like, okay, cool. I could knock that over
It's
with my
like
fist.
one city block.
Yeah,
Yeah.
If
yeah.
even,
Yeah.
it's like a little less than that. I feel.
Yeah.
And Ozzy peed on it. Osborne.
It wasn't the other Aussie?
Yeah, it wasn't like the entire
Wasn't
island
wasn't,
nation of Australia.
wasn't Dr. Ozzy?
Yeah, Dr. Ozzy.
Dr. Ozzy peed on the Alamo.
Beat on the Alamo?
Peed on it. Went tinkle.
That was our hottest take this year, was talking about whether Australia was a continent or an island.
No,
No, that was
it was
no,
just,
it just
Brussels
wasn't an
sprouts.
island. Island.
that it was the just if it was an island or not.
yeah, just if it was an island.
Yeah.
Have you guys still feel firmly on whatever you said then?
Yeah. It was not. It's an island.
I don't think it is.
I think that's very obvious.
Everything's an island. if you zoom out
Everything's
far
an
enough.
island.
Sure.
Everything is covered by water except for like I don't know, fucking Oklahoma.
Great.
Oklahoma,
That's
the only state. That's not an island? Is that what you're saying?
the only one. Hey Dave, can you name a state that borders Canada?
Oh,
Seattle?
That was his first answer last time. And then what's your next answer? Washington, D.C.
I don't know, man. I failed geography.
Neither of which is a state.
What is Seattle?
One should be. but-
Washington, D.C. at least is closer to a state.
Yeah. Yeah.
well, before we do our next album, I do have 2 games for us to play. We're going to do one now, and they're related to us. They're related to
The Jordan Peele movie?
Yep.
That came out this year.
I'm
totally.
warm. Is anyone else warm?
No, I feel great.
No, I'm hot.
All right. Our first one. Which episode was our first episode released on YouTube? Like as our first filmed episode.
Do we
So-
get options?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So A, Shania Twain.
No.
B, Pitchfork. C, When We
No.
Were Young.
Nope.
Don't just wait a fucking second, man. D, The Real Mars Volta. Dave.
The real Mars Volta, I think.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah, it's that.
You're a piece of fucking shit.
Well, what was the order? What was the order?
So, okay, I would say Real Mars Volta.
Real Mars Volta.
I mean, do you have this information?
like which
Like the
The order
chronology.
Well, I know which one was first, but I don't have the second. The second one isn't on here, but I can pull it
My
up,
guess
but,
is it's Real Mars Volta, Pitchfork, because I specifically said
You remember
like,
doing that one is
yeah, and then I can't remember what we said, but Shania Twain. Then When We Were Young, I think you only said 4.
Yeah, Shania Twain was not on video. That was
Right, that was
before. You weren't on that.
one
episode.
or two before that.
Yeah, you weren't on that episode.
So 75%.
Yeah.
Didn't we record that but never release it?
Yeah, so it wasn't on YouTube. It was
Yeah.
supposed to be a trick question for you, but he didn't shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up, Jackson.
Yeah.
I feel like I did well.
You really,
Yeah.
of course you feel like you did well.
Everyone gets a fucking point off of that one. So, all right. Next album, Number Generator.
All right, pick a number out of 3.
What?
Why do I have to pick a number out of
Okay,
3?
3.
You have a thing in front of you.
Because that's the point. Is it's a random number. It's like drawing.
Am I picking?
I'll pick-
Oh,
we-
sorry.
I did
We
mine.
keep our own number.
My bad. No. We
No.
changed it.
Why do we change numbers?
I don't remember what
well,
I picked.
'cause I
3.
I picked 2.
Okay.
Yeah, you were
one.
2, so you're next. I was 4. You were 1.
No, but he.
Now
we're
you're
doing a
redoing it.
random-
Okay.
doing a new set of numbers.
This is,
Who picked 1?
Oh
You,
my
Adam?
God.
I don't know.
It's not that complicated.
That's-
Adam, you
I thought
go.
we were keeping our own
Guys, it's been
numbers
it's been
before.
a
fine.
month.
No,
My-
that doesn't make sense because
feels
if we
like it's been
keep
a
doing a
month.
random, like a dice roll on a dice of 4, and there's only 3 of us.
Sure, you don't pick Hagen's number again.
I can't.
My
like,
album of the year was Marcus Mumford's self-titled.
I don't want to go last.
Actually called self-titled. Then you'll go next. Album goes last.
That's fine.
It was Marcus Mumford's self-titled record.
His first solo.
It's his first
album,
solo
right? Yeah.
album. Yeah, it was produced by Blake Mills. It has a lot of really cool musicians on it. Namely, my favorite song on there is the one he did with Brandi Carlile. Can't remember the name of it, but the
How.
album, yeah, the album is about he admitted with the release of this record that he was sexually assaulted as a child, and it's about coming to grips with being public with that and like moving forward, like going through his life, being an advocate for people who have been sexually assaulted. And after I learned that on the record, I was like, holy fuck.
And didn't in the Zane Lowe interview he said it's a funny record?
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah, that's
what the fuck?
Well, and he talks about like his mom hearing the song going, that sounds like a nice song. And he's like, are you listening to the lyrics or something like that? She was
But
like,
she also
"Oh my
didn't
God."
know.
She didn't know. Yeah. At that point, he hadn't told anybody. So yeah, I think along with Life According to Rachel, one of my favorite songs of the year was the song Grace, which I believe is track 2.
It is track 2.
Yeah.
Good job.
this
You
album.
did
This album
listen
was
to that
great.
album. Yeah.
I'm glad that you recommended this album
Yeah.
because it was great.
Do you like Mumford and Sons?
I like them enough.
Okay. I know you guys
I like
are
them
like
more than you do.
fanboys.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
we're
you love them compared to me.
Yeah, that's fair. I really liked their first album and then kind of fell off.
The second album was better than the first one.
I vaguely remember that being true. Yeah.
This album is beautiful. It's
Yeah.
absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, it has ups and downs. I my honorable mentions were the Harry Styles record. I can't remember which one.
Aries House.
Aries House. Yeah, because that one I kept coming back to throughout the year.
Right.
That was one of the only records that happened. And then the new Dawes record. But yeah, I decided to pick the Marcus Mumford one.
The Dawes record, that's the one that came out this year.
Yeah.
That's the one that like the album artwork looks like a Monty Python like poster.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
I kept seeing that here at Hagen's house and I was like, that's a joke, right?
No.
Because it
No,
looks
that's real.
like Monty
Yeah.
Python
Yeah.
like drew it.
When it came out, I was like, "Ooh, I don't know about this. I don't know about this."
I mean, the album's good, right? Just
It's great.
the
It's really
artwork
grown
is
on
kinda,
me.
yeah.
When I listened to this album, I think it was probably like halfway through. I was like, when's Phoebe coming? When's Phoebe coming? I did not
You
look
did listen to it?
I didn't look at the fuck. That was gonna be. I was gonna ask. Like, do you guys think I listened to
I was
it?
gonna say yes. You listened to the one song.
No, I listened to the whole thing, but I didn't listen to the deluxe edition where he's got 2 phone recordings. No, thank you. Please don't
didn't
ever
hear that either.
release that for extra money. And it's specifically a deluxe CD bonus. So, like, if you bought the CD, you get those.
In
So,
2022.
all right, in 2022, that's the year we're talking about.
People are still selling CDs with deluxe tracks.
Yeah, that makes sense. That was my favorite episode this year. the Japanese, but no, that's not true. Video mods.
I was gonna.
Yeah.
One of the questions I thought about doing was it was unfair, but it was just to Dave and Adam to best describe video mods and then have you grade their description.
Oh, we should do that. We should do that.
That would be bad.
We can do that still.
Yeah,
we can do that still.
we're
Okay.
gonna do that.
Okay.
Like halfway through this, I was like, when's Phoebe coming? When's she coming? And I didn't look, I didn't see that she was there. And then like whenever I heard her sing, I was like, I like wanted to like flip a table. I was like, I fucking knew it. This album screams like, let's get every like female like a guest
Like
vocalist
Monica
we can
Martin,
Yeah.
Phoebe Bridgers,
Claro,
Yeah.
Brandy
Yeah.
Carlisle, as
Brandy
you mentioned.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's good. but I also kind of picked it too
Resounding.
because it was kind of an example of like I really liked this record for like a week. And then just kind of like stopped listening to it.
Until like the end of the year.
Until like the end of the year.
Yeah.
This is such a bummer.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's okay if it's an album you didn't listen to every week of the year though.
I spent
There's-
most of this year listening to things that didn't come out this year.
There's definitely nothing wrong with like picking like because again the Madison Cunningham I didn't listen to it all the fucking time, but it's like I think if there's an album that sticks with you for more than just like I think that for me like I loved the Charlie Puth album. I listened to that album a lot. That's never gonna get my album of the year. Never ever. Like it's a really fucking easy listen and sometimes fun, but it's like mostly just like I want to put something on. And I don't want to think. And so, like with Harry's House, there's a bit of that, but there still is a lot of like, there's a lot going on in that album.
Yeah.
So, but when we pick these albums, like Marcus Mumford self-titled, like there's a lot of thought to be had within that album. So I think it's harder to go back and listen to those albums personally for me. Like we've talked about like the burnout of like musicianship. I think a lot of times you still get in the car and you listen to music after a gig.
Yeah.
But it's not like you're gonna go put on the heaviest fucking shit to like cry to while you're like, I just played 4 hours of music. Let me sob to this thing to music more, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
So last year, your album of the year, was it Briston?
Bristol
Or
Maroney,
was that
Sunflower,
the year?
yeah.
What was yours?
Mine was
Every Time I Die.
Every Time I
Every
Die.
Time I
Do
Die.
you guys listen? Absolutely, you listen to yours. Do you listen to yours?
yeah, I do actually. That is speaking of driving to gigs. That's like I'm driving to a gig that I am tired for or that I don't necessarily want to do. I put that on.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. I was just curious if this was a reoccurring thing.
No.
All right.
What was your album of the year last year? Oh, was it the Lingua Ignota?
No, it
No,
should have been.
It was Illuminati Hotties.
That's the better
Illuminati.
record, but it was Illuminati Hotties. I was too scared. I was too weak
Too scared?
to say it was a Lingua Ignota. To be honest, I didn't want it. I didn't want y'all to listen to it.
I already listened to it.
Yeah, but I didn't want to hear.
think
I didn't
you
want to have a
talked about it
discussion
enough
about
that-
it.
You talked about it enough that we all listened to it at some point.
Yeah, I wasn't. Yeah, I was too scared. I was like,
That's
this is
fair.
for me.
Yeah.
I don't need other people's validation.
Yeah.
Were you scared about your pick this year?
No, not at all.
Okay.
So let's talk about what we think about for 2023 for music. Are there any hopes? Anything we're looking forward to?
I haven't looked up anything. I know that
Yeah, I don't know who's putting out albums that they've like aren't going to be a surprise.
Well, let's expand that also to the outside of albums, but also like there was like a Radiohead thing that was announced, right, for this year. Not a release.
they said
but-
that they're getting back.
Yeah,
they're
they're
gonna
getting-
probably start like seeing what they can make.
Yeah. So like there's that. There's like the Foo Fighters announcement from today.
It's gonna be like fucking
I
3
don't know
or
what that
5
is.
years before a Radiohead record
yeah, of
happens.
course. Yeah. Foo Fighters announced 3 festival headlining spots.
Oh.
So there's Foo Fighters announcements, there's all that kind of stuff. But if there's, I mean, like I think touring announcements and like Periphery announced they did a countdown to a countdown. They did like they posted on social media like every day like a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 thing, and then they got to the end of it and they were like, cool. Next week we're releasing 2 songs. Like you fucking what?
Yeah.
But like they're it's cool they're releasing 2 songs, I guess. But that's something that I'm excited for. But outside of that,
I'm excited for the 100 Gex second album, 10,000 Gex. Are you guys excited for Paramore?
Yes.
I'm excited for Paramore. Yeah, I'm not like at the edge of my seat for it, but I'm excited for it. This Is Why is like that song I was really not into until I listened to the drums, and obviously I'm biased as a drummer, but I was very into it after I paid attention to the drums and the chorus.
I don't feel like that makes you biased. I think that's just the thing you like.
Yeah.
Like I'm never gonna hear a song and be like, man, like that bass sold me on the song. It's because I'm not a bass player.
Sure. Yeah.
Like I immediately hear singing, and that's like all I'm listening to.
yeah.
Wow, there's not that many records like announced. It seems.
To be fair, that doesn't happen as often now.
I do
Like
think we're
pre-announcing when an album is coming out.
I do
Right.
think that we're gonna have a lot of there's already 3 or 4 shows that I'm going to this coming year that I'm really excited about. That I don't know. I could have gone to one of those shows last year, but outside of that, there's a lot of people that weren't touring yet. I guess maybe they just took a break because of the 2020, 2021 being exhausting.
Yeah.
But
I feel like we keep saying this every year since the pandemic, but like I feel like this is the year that everything came back, because every week there was like 3 shows minimum in the DFW area
Yeah.
of like massive touring acts that I was just like, okay, who am I gonna miss this week?
Yeah.
Am I gonna go see Mars Volta? Am I gonna do this? Like,
you played a gig instead.
yeah, I played a gig instead. But then the week after we were supposed to record this episode, first Adam and I went and saw Modest Mouse, and then the very next night, Dave and I went to see The Smile. So it was just like, it was one of those things where I originally wasn't gonna go see Modest Mouse, but then I was like, I can't miss this.
Yeah.
And then, it was just exhausting.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
That show was
tiring.
really good.
It
by the way.
was.
We never got to talk about that. But
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a big thing. I think personally in music for me, I'm really excited for the year because we have a lot of exciting stuff like that Moniker's doing, and I'm traveling a lot outside of the Moniker stuff. So I know it's personal, but it still is music related. I find that to be something that this year offered. I don't know if it was just, obviously the year doesn't actually matter, but I like for the first 4 months of the year, I am gone for 2 weekends each month, which is like, I'm super excited.
That's a
about that.
lot.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot. I'm going to be very tired, but like I'm very excited to be gone playing music all that time.
Do you guys have any like tickets to shows? I like off the top of my head, I know I'm seeing Muse in March, and then I am also other than like local shows, I got tickets to that Death Cab and Postal Service
Nice.
20-year anniversary
In December?
No, September.
Oh,
yeah.
Using March, Death Cab in December.
And that's an out of town where I'm gonna have to fly somewhere to go see it. But
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
cool.
it'll be very fun.
Yeah,
I'm going to see Dawes.
Where?
The Bomb Factory or the Factory.
Okay.
Yeah. That's going to be.
That's probably a good place for that.
I hope so. See this. I don't like the sound there. I think I've seen 3 shows there, and I'm 0 for 3 on enjoying the sound.
I just don't like the crowd there.
Is there a place in DFW where you're like, oh, the sound here as a patron, not as a musician on stage?
Right. Where was the place that I saw Dawes? I can never remember the name of the theater,
that
but you seem
Majestic?
to remember it.
no, it's the one on
It's
the
a
one
weird
on SMU
one.
campus. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's McFarland.
McFarland Auditorium.
Weird.
It sounded incredible there.
I wonder if that's because that's probably designed as a performance
Maybe.
hall for like
It's-
orchestral.
that's definitely it.
That
yeah.
makes sense.
But sometimes those performance halls are not designed for electric instruments,
Yeah.
so it can go either way. But yeah, the Factory is just always too loud and bass heavy for me personally.
Yeah. You guys got tickets to any shows or anything you're looking forward to?
No tickets or anything right now.
I don't know my tickets yet, but I'm gonna go see Spirit Box. Spirit Box is touring with Intervals. I'm gonna go see Sungazer and Plenty. Sungazer is Adam Neely, the YouTuber's band. I'm gonna go see Theo Katzman at Trees, which I'm very excited about. It's a much better fucking venue for him than the House of Blues Cambridge room.
That room sounded good.
That room sounded good. I don't know if that room sounds good. I think that they sounded good. I think there's a really hard thing. There definitely are rooms that sound good, right? But when you're in like a room with people in it, it's sometimes very difficult to tell if it's the room that's the problem or if it's the sound person that's the problem. Or
As tall people, y'all. Tall people.
top PP.
As tall people, y'all.
As tall people, y'all probably have never done this, but like if you're short enough, the whole experience sonically is different. But I've, like bent over to tie my shoe before at like a festival or something. It is like you have put a like pillow over your head.
Yeah.
If you bend down enough, which I'm not recommending you do this because that's like it feels creepy to like intentionally bend down, but like you'll notice it. It's weird. It's just like it's almost like,
Yeah.
oh, I never want to go back down there. I didn't. It's strange. It's
I've thought about bringing different kinds of earplugs just to experiment with stuff
Try
like
to
that.
see how they did.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause, I mean, the Smile concert as an example. Everybody I heard that went there, nobody had any complaints about the sound, as far as I was told.
I thought they sounded great.
Yeah,
My
So-
whole problem was I couldn't see them. I was
Yeah.
just like, I wonder what they look like. I thought Radiohead fans were short.
All right, we're gonna do the video mods thing. I'm glad we agreed upon this. So I'm not participating because I'm the judge of these games. Well, he's judge of this game, but I'm the game master.
I'm Jackson,
Jackson's judging.
master.
Judge Jackson.
So Adam and Dave for well, I guess as a refresher for those, Jackson did two. Was it just two like big project episodes? You did the
Two reports.
Two reports, yeah.
Yeah.
You did the was it the Japanese releases, right? Was that what it was?
Yeah, Japanese releases.
And then video mods.
Yeah.
And for those who haven't listened to those, you can go back and find those and links to the reports, right? And so you can see all the work that Jackson poured into these episodes.
They are what I'm most proud of. And if you like them, I also have a written script that I just haven't done yet on the cruise industry, specifically music cruises.
Oh.
So that's up to y'all whether that happens or not.
That's coming out.
Only if you guys make it come out.
Yeah, you guys gotta put in the comments right fucking now. Cruise episode.
Jackson, take me on a cruise.
Tom Cruise
Wait,
episode.
if we do that episode, do you have to go on a cruise as like research?
I won't.
I think you have to.
But yeah, I'll do
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I'll do it.
Yeah. So Dave and Adam.
Wait, was the When We Were Young kind of a report? That was my field report.
Yeah, that's a
I
field
did
report.
3
That's a field
episodes.
It
report.
wasn't
Yeah,
a written
yeah,
report. It wasn't like
Yeah.
a school paper.
I'm working hard.
He said, but he
I
had
fucking went. You know how much money I spent to get that report for you?
he had photos
Yeah,
and
tax
video
write-off.
evidence. Yeah. Tax write off. So Dave and Adam are now going to do their best to describe video mods. From,
Video mod.
Yeah, how is that going to go?
well,
Poorly.
rock paper scissors for who goes first. Rock paper
Do you
scissors.
want? I have a
shoot.
random number generator, Adam.
So you said
rock paper scissors shoot. Yep.
Okay.
Rock paper scissors. Here we go. Rock paper scissors shoot.
Sorry, there was a lag.
He won.
So
you choose who goes first.
Dave goes first.
Okay,
So-
I need a refresher about what this was.
Okay,
So there was there were these developers that got tasked with making music videos based on games for popular songs of the time. And it ended up that a bunch of people got screwed and they had to put a fuck ton of work in. And it was only one season. It was a show.
Kind of right.
are you
yeah,
done? Is that
kinda.
is that all you got?
No, Adam goes next.
Well, yeah. Adam, what's your description of video mods? What you remember?
Animated with a game engine music videos.
I couldn't
And
think
I
of
guess
that.
it was on MTV, I think.
Yeah, MTV too.
MTV too.
Yeah.
Can,
MTV 2. Sorry.
For bonus points, can either of you name one of the? I guess I named 3. There were 3 songs.
Well, but we watched multiple though when we were
Yeah.
done. So
but specifically in the episode, I mentioned 3 songs.
yeah.
All the Small Things SpongeBob.
Yeah, that's one of them.
I don't remember any of them.
There was go
I
ahead.
know
I
there were
forget
like
that the Star
7 of them?
Wars one was it My Chemical Romance?
No, Franz
Shit.
Ferdinand.
Franz Ferdinand.
My
yeah,
Chemical
Take Me
Romance
Out.
was from Death Jr.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I also mentioned Only One, I think, or You're the Only One. I think it's just Only One by Yellow Card. And that was in like Medal of Honor.
That's right. Yeah.
And it's weird, like just like war porn. It was just strange. And then the other one, my favorite one, is Pieces by Sum 41, and that's in Destroy All Humans. And it's like
I do remember that
Super emotional.
yeah, super emotional. If you ever played that game, it's like that. This is not an emotional game. It is completely campy and just like, I'm gonna kill everyone. And it's like, oh no, they're doing the alien poorly.
So who gets the most points on that one?
Yes. Here,
help
let
me
me
with this. Hold on.
let me pick.
Random.
Adam is one.
I think Dave did a better job.
Okay. Well, that's who won.
I thought.
anyways.
Okay.
On my
Okay.
RNG.
Okay.
Okay, on the RNG. Okay, so Dave, you're gonna get 2 points, so you're at 3 points.
Are there prizes?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Adam is at 1 point, and Jackson, because you did the report, you're also at 3 points.
Wait, do I get a bonus point?
Feels
for
arbitrary.
You got a bonus. You got a bonus point.
Okay.
But I'll take
bonus.
You got a bonus point from that. So you would have gotten 1 point for getting the best one, and then you also listed a song. So you guys are tied. You have 1 point, and also I guess you should take a shot because you lost. But I'm
Sure,
assuming that
I think everybody's going to take a shot other than Jackson.
It's great because now Jackson can tell us about his album of the year.
Yeah, I wish I didn't have it pulled up in front of me because it would have been fun to see if I can get the name of the album right.
See if we can get points.
Yeah, there's a bonus. Hagen, you didn't get to play that game.
I don't get points. There's no
Okay.
prizes for me.
Oh,
That's sad.
okay.
Have a canceled one.
I know what the prizes are. It's not
Here,
fun.
do you guys want to try?
Sure. Old
Already wrong. Adam.
Mountain
Nope.
something.
It's
Dragon.
New dragon.
Nope.
Old,
Just stop.
old country for old men.
How to train your dragon.
Uh-huh.
How to train your dragon 3.
in 6 days.
Yeah. It's Dragon New Worm Mount. Fuck.
You're out.
Dragon New Warm Mountain I Believe in You by Big Thief. This is a double record, and for someone who is a self-prescribed doesn't like double records, I have twice picked double records as my albums of the year.
I was surprised by that.
Yeah. But for me on this one, I mean, that Moses Sumney record does feel like a double record. This one for me, it doesn't feel that way. It's definitely long. It's an hour and 20 minutes.
This
long.
was a lot of people's picks for album of the year. This was
It's the best folk album I've ever heard. And it runs the gamut. I didn't know this when listening to it because you can't really tell. But apparently, so this was conceptually, the album was, I guess, conceptualized by their drummer, who basically he has this whole story of he had to work his the courage up while they were on tour to one morning during breakfast be like, I think we should do a double album, and they're like, have you been sitting on that for a while? And he's like, yeah, and we're gonna record it in 4 different places, and they're gonna be distinct. So one's going to be in New York, one's going to be in a mountain, all these 4 distinct places, because I think Adrian has such a wide gamut of writing, and each album captures that. But I want to do an album that has all of it. I want to get all of her writing styles, and I didn't know that, and I don't think that's conceptually I don't think they have okay, so these first 5 songs are the first
New York.
Yeah.
Or the Appalachia section.
Yeah, I don't think that they have it that way. They could, but that's what's kind of nice is that I listened to this and I fell in love with it without even knowing that. For me, it's a breezy listen. It's very there are songs that can be run into each other and feel very similar to one another. But that being said, I don't really pick any songs up from this that are that's distinctly my favorite one, except for there's a guitar solo really late in the record on the song Simulation Swarm that is just the best guitar solo I think I've ever heard. And
who plays it?
Probably Buckmeat.
Okay. They have another guitar player though, don't they? Or is it just?
Yeah, it's Adrian.
Okay.
Yeah.
Better than Impossible Germany?
Yeah, because it's shorter, much shorter.
Damn.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't give me a long guitar solo. Nobody wants that. That's a dead art form. Nobody wants that at all. So Simulation Swarm, I definitely was my song of the year too. I don't agree with that. So yeah, Simulation Swarm was definitely my favorite song of the entire year, and it's just it's recorded really just superbly, and I don't know. I just for me, I totally get people listening to this album and be this is too long. But for me, it just really, it hit a nice, I don't listen to much folk music, and I wouldn't really say I'm much of a folk fan. But this really scratched an itch that I didn't even know I had. And partially there was maybe 5 songs on here when I saw Adrian Linker do a solo set in 2021, late in 2021, she played all these songs that I was like, I've never fucking heard this. It's maybe because she has like 3 solo records and I've only listened to like one of them. I was like, it's probably from those. And then I found out, oh, no, she was like showcasing these new songs that no one knew were new songs.
So when you heard the record for the first time, were you like, oh, it's that song?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Because she has really unique ways of like writing lyrics. So one of the lyrics that like immediately like my ears perked up was, I remember building an energy shield in your arms. And I was like, that's a weird way of putting that, but I get what you're saying. And then as soon as she sang that, I was like, oh, fuck.
What was the one with who she talks about like apples?
Oh, I don't fucking know.
Oh, there's
But-
one where she keeps saying apple.
There is Spud Infinity, which is the 3rd song on the record, which is like the most upbeat one, which is the What's It Gonna Take?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one she also played, and I was like, this is definitely like an early solo song because like they don't write like upbeat songs like
Yeah.
this.
I would like to have heard that one live and then heard the recording of it because I
Yeah.
feel like that would have more impact live.
It was really fun. I mean,
Yeah.
like it was a solo show, so definitely different. But yeah, I just like this is an album that I don't find myself always putting on just because it is so long. But it's definitely the best album I've heard this year. My close number 2, I guess, did you guys have anything to say about the record before I move on?
Oh, it was the song Sparrow.
I found that with this album, I really like. I enjoyed it on my first listen, and then when I went back to it, I like the "What's It Gonna Take" that song. I was like, this is where I'm at. This is me.
It's a bop.
Yeah, yeah. And then I it's not that I didn't like the rest of it. It was more that I there was. I think I've said this before when it comes to certain albums, but like there were moments I was into, but the whole thing, it was kind of difficult for me to always get into. I think it was more of a mood thing, especially the length of it too.
Yeah,
But,
it's definitely long.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's down tempo. And there are cool songs that are also like the Spud Infinity where that's like kind of a I don't know, an anomaly on the record, but
Like,
there's this
it kind
song.
of like breaks it up a little bit.
But then there's similarly there's Wake Me Up to Drive, which instead of having like acoustic drumming, it has like obviously it's a drum machine.
Yeah.
And it has a very thin production.
Yeah.
And it feels on purpose for like I guess the lyrical material. So I really like that.
That's cool.
I would have, and you could probably guess that I would say this about this record, Jackson, but I would have really liked to hear it with the highest production quality possible.
I think that would take so much away from
Exactly,
it.
and
consistent
I
through
agree
the
with
whole
you as
thing,
well.
yeah.
But for me, selfishly, I'm like, I really I want to hear everybody's just high production records.
I forget which one it is. I think it's it's Little Things where that is probably the most produced you'll ever hear them. And I think that song is just them strumming like the same chord the entire time. And I was just like, man, how did you write a song like that? And it doesn't sound like you're writing or like strumming the same chord the entire
Yeah.
time. It was pretty impressive. And also I think Buck Meek and Adrian Lenker's like vocal stylings is like akin to like a Lennon McCartney, where it's just like when I hear them harmonize together, I'm just like, holy shit.
I feel like their tones are so like not opposite, but just so different from each other. But it is that like harmonizing thing. For me,
Yeah.
it reminds me more of like a Fleetwood Mac approach of like these voices are just kind of melding in a way where where you wouldn't expect them to, but instantly it's like
It
they
blends
sit-
really well.
Yeah, they sit together
Yeah.
in a great way.
The best example of that is track 4 for me, Certainty. And like in the chorus, they're like, my certainty is wide and weaving. They like just lock in this like, yeah, it kind of, they're contrasting, but it fits so well.
Yeah.
So that's like, it's also like similar to like when people are talking about like Mark Hoppus and Tom DeLonge, whenever they sing together, that's like, just like ear candy. That's what their harmonization is for me. So my very close second one, and this one I regularly put on like maybe every other week, is Wet Leg's debut album, Wet
Yeah.
Leg. I mean, that is, I don't think it sounds like Illuminati Hotties, but it's a similar thing where it's just like, if I want a fun record that I I really developed a like just kind of like I'm gonna turn my brain off. Not that it is turn your brain off music, but for me, I've decided like this is my like
It's like fun.
yeah.
It's fun. Yeah.
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 I love that record. That was like very nearly my record of the year, but you know, I grew the courage to choose my actual one this year.
I mean, I expected that to be your record of the year, actually,
Yeah.
just based on how often you talked about it. So.
Yeah, it's so good, and like I would die to see them. If I had to pick between like Big Thief or Wet Leg, like in the same night, I would pick Wet Leg just because I think that would be such a fun show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got plenty of albums I listened to this year. I thought it was an amazing year. Similarly, I didn't listen to Dawn FM except for that first like month of the year.
Yeah, the first
And
couple
then
weeks. Yeah.
I remembered it and listened to it all of December. I was like, this is like a perfect pop album. Like I think it's better than Harry's House. And I just was blinded by Harry's House because I had forgotten about Dawn FM. And I was like, oh man, how the fuck did they write this album? It's so good. And it's
Yeah.
like conceptually strong. But there are those Weekndisms where it's just like, hey man,
We
why?
get it.
Yeah, why? We get it. You're famous. People want to have sex with you. It's cool. You don't have to tell us about it. Last one I wanted to mention is there was a really small band released I would say it's an album. It could be an EP, but it's called Limbo by this band Moniker, MNKR, and they have these cool shirts that you can't get anymore.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool logo. It'd be
Yep.
cool to see it on a poster somewhere.
Be super cool.
Or maybe like on a different T-shirt.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, might be too expensive though. So
okay.
who knows? Yeah,
That was my top listened to album on Spotify or on Apple Music.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I did want to mention that like an album I came into really late in the year and would have been much higher on my list if I had listened to it earlier in the year. I guess it came out like middle of the year was Blue Rev by Alvvays. Just
It's a great album.
I was shocked. I couldn't believe I slept on that. It was so good. And I found out, and Dave, you might know this because you so bravely came out as Canadian this year
did.
to us.
Yeah.
But Blue Rev, the singer of Alvvays, is like what she was saying, like the Canadian For Loco. And she was saying like, oh, Blue Rev, like I basically just wrote, an album saying like, oh, thinking of like whenever I was a kid drinking Blue
Interesting.
Rev.
Okay.
Oh, Rev.
Yeah.
Okay, so Rev
Oh, okay,
is the
so
drink,
Rev and
but
like
it's
the
a blue
blue-
liquid. Yes.
Yeah.
That shit,
okay.
oh my God.
And
Yeah.
so she was like, yeah, a lot of the lyrical content is just like, oh yeah, we would be at like a skating rink and we'd be hiding behind the walls drinking it. And she's just like, yeah, I just kind of tried to write a bunch of songs about like what that felt like doing as a kid or
I want to hear
high
that
school.
record now.
I mean, you can't tell, but like,
Yeah.
It's a really
Haven't heard
It's a
that.
really great album.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot.
There's a
It's
key
funny.
change in it that like I'll show you after this, but man, when it happens, I was just like, that might be the best key change I've ever heard. Yeah, those are my albums.
So do we have any hopes for the podcast in 2023? Anything we're looking forward to? Anything that we want to do? Anything that I don't know.
$1 million.
Oh, perfect.
I think we need to do 3D if we're going to make $1 million.
3D
Like Avatar.
Avatar.
I hope we get more suggestions for episodes from the listeners.
Yeah, damn listeners.
Like those of you listening right now.
Yeah. Desperately.
Or later. But I guess if you're listening when we say that, you are listening now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll figure it out.
They're always listening now, right?
Yeah.
They're always listening now. But
In
they
this
could
moment.
but they could be listening live currently, or they could be listening in the future, but it still is now.
Now.
That's profound. I
Crazy
said it.
how podcasts work.
Yeah, I mean, this is something that I went back and looked at like our old company party episodes and was like, what did we talk about? And I was like, oh, we talked about like the future of the podcast. I was like, that's such a weird topic, but I'll bring it
is.
up again. But
Because I feel like we're at a point, and I would have said this last year too, probably.
You might have said it last year.
Yeah, I feel like we're at a point where it's like, hey, I'm happy. Like, I wouldn't be upset if we're doing the same thing. Like,
Yeah,
of course, like
yeah.
more listeners would be nice and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Of course, that's cool. But like, I don't think there's any wrong with like being like, oh, I'm happy where we are and I like the way we're doing it.
my biggest thing is that like the
It's your arms.
No, it's his shoulders.
probably my shoulders. Please don't break my piano. Please don't.
I'm too strong for it.
My fuck, that took me off. For me, like I said earlier, I really like doing the video side of things and all that kind of like production stuff. And the more that we do that kind of stuff, the more that I have fun with it. I know sometimes it like when we were young episode, I was like dripping sweat the whole time. Like it's all breaking. It's all breaking.
I mean, that's how you know we're doing something new, though.
Yeah.
That's what James Cameron feels that way every day that he gets onto Avatar 6's set. It's so cool.
I don't think he does feel that way.
Our episodes don't take 10 years.
Yeah.
Blue people.
But I find that I find that for what we're doing now, I agree. I'm happy to just do whatever we're doing like this forever. But if there's more stuff that we can do to expand on that, like I want to try it. And if our listeners have any ideas, of course, please tell us. But I want us to keep pushing ourselves. And if we are like ever feeling like, hey, let's try something new in regards to a topic. Like, I mean, we always talk about it anyway, but like I would love for us to just keep trying new things and all that kind of stuff.
I'm going to be controversial. I don't want y'all's opinions. Don't tell us.
Damn.
I could not disagree with that more.
Holy
Speaking
shit.
of which, I've written down some listener albums before we get to Adam's.
Oh man, I had that too. Nice.
Okay, well then you did it. You probably did it better than me.
No, I just screenshotted it.
Okay, I wrote down the
Yeah.
screenshots.
You want to go one at a time? Here, let's see if we have
Not
the same
really.
order. Let's see if we have the same order. What do you have first? Go ahead.
Nathan.
Great. Go ahead, read it.
Okay.
That's my first one.
Nathan had Gates of Horn and Ivory by the Dust Mothers. I'm a bit worried some of these might be jokes.
No. Dust Mothers, I believe, is a Denton band.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. You hear that? Denton band, you're a joke.
I played at Dan Silverleaf on Friday in Denton, and the bass player for the band I was playing with walks up and goes, Shania Twain saw a massacre? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, is that a band? I was like, welcome to Denton.
Yeah.
That's a very Denton name.
Yeah. Next we have Mallory Frenza sending in Renaissance, Beyonce. What's your next one?
Blake.
That's what I
Okay.
have. Yeah.
Has sorry.
Yeah.
Has The Real Sexual Jeremy by Sexual Jeremy. I know that's a Denton band.
Yeah, that is a Denton band.
Could have told you that without even actually knowing that that's a band.
Yeah. Next is from Secret Keepers Band, aka friend of the show Tony. Kevin Morby's album, This Is a Photograph.
I did not hear about this one. I hadn't heard.
I hadn't heard about it until I presented the question to him well before we decided to do this episode, and I was like, okay, we need your album of the year, because last year, for those who don't remember, he sent in like a novel of why the Buck Meek album was his, and I read that on the show to everybody.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I need to know. We didn't get a novel this year. We just got the album, but he was very, very. He put a lot of thought into it. A lot of thought.
Tony, we hope you're doing all right since you didn't send us a novel. Next one, I got a direct message, and this was from Killian, who originally sent me the Big Thief record, and I said, nope, that's not going to work.
No, that's mine.
To which he said,
you
okay.
can't have that as your favorite.
A close second for Killian was Inside Problems by Andrew Bird.
That was a good record.
Yeah, and then Matthew and the Arrogant Sea. This is just
You don't have to do their whole name,
This
man.
is just Matthew's pick. Well, that's just on the and that's the Instagram.
I would have just said Matthew.
Well, I said the whole thing.
And I would have actually lied and said their name was Josh.
Why?
Josh
don't
and the
know.
Arrogant Sea.
Yeah, no, just Josh.
Havasu by Pedro the Lion was Matthew's pick.
That's 2 hmms out of 4. That's 3 hmms out of 4. 4
Might
out
need
of 4 hmms.
Might need to check your medication if you think that's the best record. Sounds like you're sad, dude. That one's for the Pedro the Lion fans or American football fans.
Nice. And then there's another one from Bad Karma, album called Plastic Hearts.
Yep, I knew that. That was another one.
Album. Take us to your album of the
Yeah.
year.
Hold up.
What's your Adam
Pick a
of the
number
year?
out of 1.
yeah, I'm not picking a number.
A number out of 1.
This was my album of the year. Here
That's
you go,
a big
Jackson.
CD.
Brought a
Black
prop.
Country New Road.
Merry
It's from up
Christmas.
there. You're welcome. Congratulations on your album.
Awkward handshake.
No look handshake.
Yeah. I obviously this band had existed before this album, but I'd never had heard of them, and I did, and they're easily like my favorite discovery of the year, and it's probably the most listened to album for me of the year. I didn't check that, but
It's
Title won't let you, man.
yeah, that's fair. I don't have a way to check. But
it blew me away.
So how do
It's
you
a really
feel
great album.
about it, knowing that it is now
that I can never see them live as they are on this album.
they're just as good now?
No, I'm sure, but
They
I guess
are.
for context, for anyone who doesn't know or remember when I talked about this album before, the vocalist left the band like a couple of days after the album came out. A couple
No,
days
he
before.
left before.
And right before they were going to go on tour as well.
Right. And they still went on that tour.
And they still went on tour. They just played, I guess, instrumental.
Yep. They
whole
wrote like a whole new set.
Yeah.
And
I
got
could
to
see that
it.
working.
I got to see it, and it was incredible. I was like, I didn't think it was going to be good. They opened up for
Yeah.
Black Midi. And
That's right. I think that's actually the day when you were at that show. That's the day when I listened to this album and was like, oh, fuck. I should have
Yeah.
gone to that.
How many people are in the band? Do we know that?
It's like 6.
Yeah, it's a lot of people.
Yeah. Some people play multiple instruments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They rotate instruments other than like the drummer.
Yeah.
Like someone might be playing a bass one song, then playing a saxophone the next song. So it's not just like, bass guitar is flipping. Like,
Yeah, if you
it
watch,
is like
they have a bunch
everything.
of performances that are live at like Queen Elizabeth Hall or whatever.
Yep.
Is that right? If you know the videos I'm thinking of.
I'm going to say yes.
But they did the album live before the vocalist left the band and didn't play with them. And they're changing instruments and who's doing what all the time.
There are 7 people on this record. There are 6 people in the band now.
I remember thinking like, I wonder how they make money touring this.
Yeah. Well, they're really big. There's just slightly.
That's fair, though.
Specifically because there was a lot of
there's a
people
lot
in the
going
band.
on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm just like,
Yeah.
this is very intricate.
They're just slightly under like the popularity of Black Midi. So like they're pretty big. They will sell out. No, like not massive spaces, but
Well,
like the
because
places.
their
they're
first
playing.
album was a big hit.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever mentioned it. Maybe you had, but then I didn't listen to it if you did.
I
so.
came into it this year as well.
Okay.
Both of these records.
I listened to the first album and I listened to this album too, or like when it came out, and I both times I was like, I should like this, but I don't.
Kind of like Man a little bit.
Well, and then I listened to it again in preparation for this, and I've listened to it so much because we were supposed to record this a month ago. But
So just every week you've been listening to all the albums.
No, not all the albums. This one, and mine. But I've listened to this one a lot. It's really I don't know what flipped. Something flipped, and I fucking love this album.
I'm shocked you like it because the vocalist is like one of those guys who like he doesn't sing traditionally, and
No,
he's
but he
got
has a
like
super duper round, clean tone.
Yeah.
He's not traditional, but like in terms of, I mean, I guess, and he's not like a clean singer in like the indie pop style, right? I guess that's more of, that's it.
Yeah.
But he has like a really round. He sounds trained. He sounds very trained.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, if you haven't listened to a band called Sand for Men, you should listen to a band called Sand for Men.
I have not. So.
Their first album, I think it's called Jack Rabbit. That album that came out in like 20. Oh no, it's the self-titled is Sand for Men. The one after that's Jack Rabbit.
is it all one word?
2 words. Sand for Men.
I'd also like to recommend the Sardaukar chanters from Dune Part 1.
Okay.
Hamburger, hamburger, hamburger,
Yeah.
hamburger, 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 hamburger.
That makes sense.
Yep. You might like them.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying sand for men.
Sand for Men.
For men.
For Men.
I thought that's what you were saying. At first.
Dune
Yeah.
Part 2.
Yeah. Dune Part
That's
2.
a good band name. Sand for men.
Sand for Men. Yep. That's
It's probably taken.
It's a Denton band name.
And women.
No.
No
Give him one.
sand for
Give
you.
him one. Give him one.
You don't get no sand.
It reminded me a lot of when you told me the Man thing. I was like, okay, well, I'll come into this in a different way. I kind of hear the Man thing.
Eclectic, dark,
Yeah.
Deeper voice. That's
Yeah.
really it.
Yeah, I don't hear it at all.
I didn't hear too much of the Man
kinda
thing
get
there,
that.
but I understand where it came from. But it reminded me a lot of this band, and this album is a really like just the arrangement wise, it's incredible.
Well, it's a long album, right? You have it pulled up. I don't know how long it is.
58 minutes and 46
And
seconds.
it doesn't feel that long to me.
No,
Yeah.
no, not at all.
No.
And the songs are long. It's not that like,
Yeah.
there are 10 songs. The last song is almost 13 minutes.
Right.
The first time I listened to it, like after the fact, like prepping for the episode, I was running errands, and I like switched between AirPods while I was like in grocery stores or in my car. And when I was done, I was like, "Damn, that was short." And I was like, "Oh, I've been running errands for a while."
Like an hour.
Yeah, I'm super excited having seen their live set, assuming that they're going to record those same songs.
I hope so, because
I think
I've
it's-
seen a couple of videos of them just performing this new stuff
Yeah.
that's instrumental. I mean, there's an instrumental track on here or on the other album at least.
So the set I saw was not instrumental. Like they
Oh.
all
That's fair. That's cool.
it basically felt like everybody had a song. And not in the sense of style wise, but in a sense like, okay, the drummer's singing
Right.
his song now.
That's cool.
Keyboard player / violin player is now singing her song. And like it was incredible. I mean, like I think it will be just as like
Yeah.
critically acclaimed as this record and the previous one. So like clearly it wasn't just the like singers like emotion.
Like tying it together.
Yeah.
Did the
And
singer say why he left?
I think it was just like
I think it was a mental health thing.
Okay.
Like he was,
he was just too stressed in the
Yeah.
band.
Yeah,
because
He's like
whatever I
working
read,
in a bakery now.
yeah,
I
he works
think.
in a bakery,
cool.
Yeah.
so he's got a very, very different life now.
Yeah,
Very
Yeah.
British.
yeah. And honorable mentions.
Just Kendrick Lamar's album, which I keep listening to,
Nice.
Moniker.
and Moniker.
Every fucking year.
Yeah, you never.
Did you guys have an album come out?
No, we've never released music before
Yeah, that's
ever.
fair.
So I've got one final game for us to decide prizes, and then after that we can do if we want to do our podcast pick of the year, like our show pick of the year.
Do we want to do an in memoriam? Can anybody sing me a sad song? Don't do that.
Nope, not gonna do that.
Most recently, literally the last day of the year, Jeremiah Green, the drummer for Modest Mouse,
Yeah,
literally my favorite drummer of all time, died, and that like killed
But
me.
he-
Similarly,
he had been on that tour with them.
yeah,
Yeah.
but he was
Not-
he didn't
not-
play the
not-
show.
not
That
towards the
he had
end,
dropped
yeah.
off the tour 2
Right.
days before we had seen them in Dallas.
But
So-
I was reading something that it was not his idea to go on tour, but he really pushed for them to go on that tour. So that's got like another like level of heaviness to it.
Yeah, it's
dang.
definitely like that one has really bummed me out. I haven't been able to listen to Modest Mouse
Yeah.
since then, but like, yeah, that one really, gutted me. Taylor Hawkins. Also.
I'm just now able to listen to the Foo Fighters again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Since
Yeah,
we
I-
hung out that one
I still
night.
haven't actually.
yeah.
Yeah.
Not
The-
like on purpose, I guess, but I haven't just. It's not a thing I've been like, oh, I need to listen to Foo Fighters.
I have
again.
I have like a personal goal that I thought about doing last year for my 30th birthday, but I think I'm gonna just do it now for fun. That we've talked about. That I think I'm gonna try to keep. I'm gonna manifest, like I'm gonna say it out loud, so that way like I have more reason to do it. And then I want to do at least one night of like a Foo Fighters tribute band. Put
I'm
together.
doing the same thing for Modest Mouse. Literally after
Yeah.
I finished this Juno one, I was already planning on doing this before he died, so it wasn't like that.
Yeah.
But it's always been my dream to do like a Modest Mouse for Halloween.
Yeah.
So like I'm literally working on assembling that right now.
I have
Hell
like
yeah.
I
Let's
have
play
like
a show together.
let's do it. Yeah.
I'm not gonna play it for the Foo Fighters though.
I wasn't gonna ask you.
Cool. Perfect.
I don't think anybody wants you to play that one.
I would play for Modest Mouse. I don't think you'd ask me, but I would.
So
play
would
for
I.
Modest Mouse. Yeah.
Yeah. No, you guys were gonna be my first picks.
Let's go.
It's just gonna
Good,
be.
dude.
It's just gonna
We
be
made
Moniker.
it's gonna be Moniker.
Moniker
Well, that's how
playing
those
Modest
work.
Mouse.
Yeah.
That's how those work.
Yeah,
I
well,
explained
yeah,
this
for-
to people.
for Halloween, yeah.
like
Yeah.
they
that's
do
fair.
those Halloween bands.
I wanted to do like my original plan was like do like an hour and a half long Foo Fighters tribute set thing that I could like eventually turn into, if it works out, turn into like a thing that we could get like hired out for. But the goal would be to just put together a good group of people to do
At least do it once.
of a Foo Fighters tribute thing. And the I think the weird thing is that the reason I wanted to do it was because of Taylor, but I also wouldn't be the drummer of the band. I would be the Dave Grohl of the band. So, but yeah, that's one of the in memoriam things with Taylor Hawkins. I will like that was the first celebrity death. I said this on the show, but it was the first celebrity death that like fucking gut punched me. I was in the bathroom on a set break, like seeing an Instagram post like, no, the Foo Fighters are lying right now, and like going to Google and then like getting back on stage, like still crying basically. Like, yeah, that was a tough one.
Yeah.
obviously these are not everyone, but just the ones that I'm aware of. Olivia Newton-John,
Yeah.
Loretta Lynn, Takeoff of the Migos, and then also Aaron Carter. There was Mimi Parker, who is the drummer of Low. That one was a huge bummer because if you've never listened to Low,
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
they're one of the like most creative rock bands out there.
Christine McVie.
Yeah, Christine McVie. There was a lot. Coolio, I remember
Yeah.
that because that happened before the Weird Al movie came out, and like there's like a little like part in that movie where there's a joke about him. So, Pharoah Sanders, which is like a really prominent saxophone player, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a huge list right here, and I'm sure there's a lot of these people that I'm not aware of that are, exceptional musicians.
Paul McCartney.
Paul McCartney.
Well, that's every year.
That's every year.
Well, he's
Keep replacing him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. One of the Pointer sisters died. I don't remember her name, but yeah, that's sad. Yeah. So obviously, every year we talk about this stuff. Not much to like say other than like, yeah, it's a bummer.
Yeah.
But I hate that I'm gonna see all my like heroes die. I remember like when Dio died. That was my first like, oh shit, I'm gonna see all these guys die, huh?
Yeah.
That's not fun.
It's too dark.
You guys want to play a game?
Let's play a game.
Jackson's just over here scrolling through this list still.
Okay.
You gotta stop.
So, this one there is not options. This is a test of memory. And everybody should get a free point on this one. So,
Promise.
I hope you do. See how many deep dives this year you can name that we did.
Fuck. I thought we stopped doing deep dives.
We did not. We did a number of them. Not a large amount.
I think I know the answer, but I shouldn't go
I
first.
know one.
I don't. Okay. I don't know. I don't know. If someone, I guess if someone names it, then you can't say it. I guess so. Whoever wants to go first.
Are we saying the deep dives we did or the number of them?
Just if you can name the specific ones.
Shania Twain.
Yeah, that's the only one.
Everyone
I know.
should get that one.
Shania
So
Twain,
I'm gonna give everybody that one. Dave, you're
literally the only one.
holy moly, Dave.
Moly.
Holy moly, Jackson too.
Holy moly.
Really?
What's another deep
I
dive?
feel like we did 4 or 5, but I can't remember any of them.
We did 5.
Did we do Kendrick Lamar this year?
5.
No,
No.
we did not do
I
Kendrick.
thought
this
we
year.
said after the Billie Eilish one we didn't.
We did, and they weren't. There was our new form of deep dives where we don't have to listen to every single one,
Right,
but like
we're not
we did.
listening.
Or
we
if
did
one
a deep-
person leads the
yeah,
chart.
we did a deep dive on these things. So
I think you guys specifically did these without me.
nope, there's one that you had the charge for.
Oh, I mean, does Jeff Buckley count?
Boom, there
Yeah,
we go.
that would
No,
count.
that's a point for Jackson.
Yep.
I didn't realize that was.
There's
this
one
year, but-
there's one that you gotta get. I'm shocked that you don't.
That I gotta get?
Yeah,
Did I lead the?
Yep, you had the charge on it.
Fuck.
I am.
Dawes?
No, we
No.
didn't do it.
No, I know I wasn't there for
Yeah.
that. Fuck.
Oh shit.
Does anyone want a hint of one?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna give you a hint for the one you shouldn't get. We forced musicals on you guys, and it was a general theme that we were into from another musical that got us to do this deep dive.
I don't know.
I guess it was a long year.
Just give us the answers. We're not going to get them.
Rent.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I guess that counts.
Yeah, it'd be the same as
that
it'd be the
counts.
same as fuck. It'd be
Yeah.
the same
Yeah.
as doing Jeff Buckley. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does Glee count?
That wasn't this year.
It was. Yeah. I was like,
Yeah.
this year?
That was last year.
I didn't know if we wanted to count this one, but we did all watch and go over Summer of Soul, so I put that there in case someone did think of that one.
I would say that
Oh,
doesn't count.
yeah.
But the one that you got, I tragically hit.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Oh,
That was my coming out episode. Shit.
tastes like Dr. Pepper.
Damn it.
I'm genuinely shocked that you didn't
Yeah,
get tragically hit.
I forgot about that too, but I didn't do the episode.
Might need to get a brain scan, my dude.
Yeah.
You
No, we're gonna have to
remember.
review the episodes we did at the end of this year.
We'll know that for next year.
That's what I did. I scrolled through everything and I was like, what can I ask everyone about? Cool. So then we also have our podcast pick of album of the year, which I guess we kind of agreed on. But if we didn't, then we can.
It was a while ago. I
I
forgot what
couldn't
we
guess
said.
what we picked.
We picked Harry's House.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm okay with
I
that.
just trashed
I'm
talked
good with
that.
that.
Well, you said you trash talk compared to the Weeknd.
That's pretty
Yeah.
pretty on brand for you though.
But
Go me.
but do you like Harry's House?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I thought we
That's a
picked it
good
because we all liked it, whether or not it was like a great album or.
Happy baby. Yeah. An album for an Apple commercial.
I guess I don't know. It definitely easily could be, but
No, it was. That's
well,
what
yeah,
it is.
okay. I thought like the implication of the album's release was that it was like made for that, but
I mean,
it's made
is,
for
but,
commercials.
Like, yeah, it definitely is. But
I don't think that's true. I think Harry wrote that
well,
album
not-
mostly
not
himself
him.
in his fucking house.
I think
and then
his producers guided him towards this is commercial friendly.
yeah,
But
he was
really
the
good,
main
though.
but he was the main person on the he was the
Oh.
that's a COVID record. He did most of it himself in his house.
Oh.
Yeah.
So then he wanted to sell commercial licensing then.
You guys have no
course
idea
he
how
does.
pop music works.
of course it is.
You guys are so boring. Holy shit.
We're talking about a pop record. Come on.
Yeah, there's no nuance here. There's nuance in good pop records.
That album does have a lot of nuance.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like
No, it is a real good album.
The more I listen to it, the more I just pay attention to like the bare bones of each track, and I'm like, that shit could be isolated and it'd be funky as fuck.
yeah. But that's the cool thing about the album. Like I think we talked about all the different Harry Styles albums. I don't know when it was, but like this one to me sticks out so much more because it feels like it actually feels like a really well put together, like arranged thing by a guy who's like, this is what I want to do. This is it. So, do you guys want your prizes now or later?
Pino Palladino's on this record, and Han Mayer.
Han?
Wow. Yeah, Han.
Han?
I love you. I know.
Do you guys want your prizes now or later?
Now,
All right.
I'm worried about it, but now it's probably good.
Awesome.
Can we do a random number?
No. So Adam got 2 points. So
You get the shitty
I'm in
prize.
last place, I assume.
Shitty prize. I already got a record.
Shitty
Does
prize.
that mean I shouldn't get a prize?
Maybe.
Are there three
a prize
There's
from
three
album.
prizes. There's three
Okay.
prizes.
What?
There's three
that's
prizes.
a prize from album.
This is the one I'm most proud of.
Machine Gun Kelly. Machine Gun Kelly Funko Pop.
Oh man, I'm so glad I didn't get that.
How did you know? That's what I wanted.
My partner would have freaked out if I had shown up
That is
in the house with a
fucking
Funko
hilarious.
Pop.
Machine
Oh my
Gun
God.
Kelly Funko
Yeah,
Pop.
to be fair, I don't know if that's going to make it to my house.
Leave it as a prop for the show.
Just every episode in front of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, do it.
Dave, you know this one.
You know it.
Do I?
Did you pick it up? Can you please tell the listeners
It's a
what it
Guitar
is?
Center pillow.
It's a Guitar Center pillow. It's a little.
It has a handle.
Who is that?
Oh, no,
is that
that's a
for, though?
strap, my friend.
That's a strap.
It's a terminology you might not know, but we call
don't know.
those straps in
And
the
now-
industry.
Why is it called a strap?
Who is that pillow for?
Guitar
This-
strap.
What do you mean
Like
who's
a
that
small
for?
child?
Like what?
Yeah, for a
Okay.
small child. Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Yeah, a small child can
For
fit
a
that.
baby.
Or your dog.
And then here's our grand prize, which is not music related at all.
Cool.
A new.
This better not be Batman.
So you know those like super duper hilarious like man
Oh,
gifts they
shit.
have at Target.
Yeah.
Like cologne.
So it has socks. It has a mug that says on mute, right? And then
You're on mute.
and then it has a mouse pad in there.
Wonderful.
Can I see it?
Adam, do you want to trade gifts?
No, I'm good.
This is exactly how I wanted this to go.
Is it shocking that
You
I
have
want
to use the mouse pad while you're
I
here.
want the Machine Gun Kelly one more? What do I do? Put it under my laptop?
No, you have a mouse next to the side of your computer like it's
Put it under my
1990.
guitar pad? Or fuck. I looked at my Dr. Pepper and said guitar pad.
Awesome.
Been a
Gotta
long
wrap
day,
that
huh?
up.
Well, we're not going to do what we're listening to, right? Because it's our.
Oh, I hope not. I'm not ready for that.
You guys got any shows you want to plug? Anything you want to plug?
Sure.
Do you?
I do. That's
Sounds
why I'm
like you do.
asking.
For those who are I guess watching before Friday the 13th, actually Friday the 13th, I'll be playing at Rubber Gloves with Matthew and the Arrogant Sea. It's a great
You mean
lineup.
Josh in the Arrogant Sea?
Josh and the Arrogant Sea. It's a great lineup. Cody Anderson from Oklahoma is coming to play with us. We have Edgar Derby's also on the bill, and then Brave Little Howl. It's going to be a really fun time. Come through.
You guys got anything?
No.
I am playing. It is basically 2 weeks from now. It is January 21st, which is a Saturday in Dallas. I will be one last time. This is my encore performance before I put a nice bow on it and walk away from the concept. I will be playing the Juno soundtrack from front to back with some surprises. But special thing about this is it'll be at the Texas Theater in Dallas, which, if you don't know, is where they found Lee Harvey Oswald after he killed JFK. Allegedly.
It's also a great movie theater.
An amazing movie
There's
theater.
a bar called Lee Harvey's that says the same thing. So
Yeah. So,
I think they also printed on the back of the tickets. They really want you to know that he was there.
yeah. Most people that I invited to this did not know that. And they're like, oh, that's so cool. So at the beginning of the show, for $16 crisp, you will, at 8:30 p.m., we will be doing a screening of the movie Juno. And then after that, we will walk behind the screen in like you were on a I guess at a musical or something like that, where you're actually one of the actors. There's a stage back there where I will perform it from front to back. So it's a Saturday. Get a babysitter. And
nice.
Well, we'll see you there. It's going to be a fun time, and I will be raffling off another vinyl record of the Juno soundtrack. I need to order that now.
Awesome. Anybody have anything else they want to add?
No.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. We appreciate it so much. We're happy to be in 2023 and happy to be back doing the show. We're gonna I'm gonna say it now. We're gonna be doing live stream, I think, more. I have a couple of ideas
I think
for
Jackson's uncomfortable with it, but that's okay.
It was my idea.
I have a couple of ideas of more stuff we can do with live streams. I'm not going to say now. Hopefully we can keep it a surprise and get some cool stuff going. But thank you so much for listening. If you haven't already, please follow, subscribe, whatever podcast app you like to use. If you're watching on YouTube right now, you don't already subscribe, please hit the subscribe button.
It's free.
Your name is going to pop up on the screen. At least it should if you subscribe. It should pop up right there on the screen if you hit subscribe. That's supposed to make people do it, but I guess they're not going to do it.
Do it.
Do it.
I feel like mine was better.
It was better.
Yeah.
I wouldn't ever argue that.
Almost did it again. No self-control.
If you prefer, if you're an audio listener, please make sure you're following or subscribing on whatever podcast app you are using. If you're on socials, you can find us DFTA Podcast on Instagram, Don't Feed the Artist on TikTok, also on Facebook if you still use that, Don't Feed the Artist. If you have thoughts, comments, episode suggestions that Jackson won't read, you can email us at happynewyyear@don'tfeedtheartist.com.
It's a bit problematic that I run the Instagram if I'm not going to read stuff.
Yeah, it is.
I have access to the Instagram, so I can see it.
And everyone, bets are closing soon, so make sure you get those in on whether or not this is the year that Adam finally quits the podcast. Get those in
why am I supposed to
before
quit?
the end of the
I
month.
missed
Why are
this.
you supposed to quit? I don't know. Are you supposed to quit?
I guess so.
Every year
Yeah.
we have the bet, and by the end of January you need to have your bets
that's fair.
in.
I guess it'll stop being an audio podcast then, huh?
Yeah, it'll just be us miming.
I like it. That's
It'll
good.
just be YouTube.
It'll just be a YouTube release. There's a lot of things that are just doing that.
That's fine. That is how that exists.
Yeah.
Don't go.
Who?
Don't go.
Oh, you're talking to
said
Adam.
don't go.
Oh, okay.
I'm not trying to leave. Sounds like Jackson wants to kick me out. But
No, I just want the pop fun co-pop.
You guys can trade. It was
can
just,
just have that.
it was more of like the fun.
No,
it was
you have
more
to
of
take
like the
this
fun, like, you know.
yeah, you can have both. It's fine.
No,
I think Dave likes
I mean the
his.
socks might be nice.
I like my pillow.
I thought the mug was kind of cute. Yeah.
I think it'd be fun to destroy a mug. I've never done that.
That's kind of a cute mug. Yeah.
It'll be fun to destroy a mug.
No,
Thank you
it
guys
would
for
be
listening.
good to have at work.
We really appreciate it. I don't appreciate
No.
these guys. They're mean.
Absolutely not. I'm not going to bring some passive aggressive thing like this to work. I don't want to be one of those people.
Oh, okay.
That's true.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for listening so much. We appreciate it. And Give me a new year.
Oh.
Aww.
I gotta turn all this off now.
Turn it all off.
Yeah, which order
Are
do
we
we go
still
in?
live? Who knows? Maybe it'll cut me off in the middle of a sentence or a song. I am Jackson. That is Dave. Adam's to my right. Hagen's to my front. Maybe my left. It depends on your perspective. Life's about perspective. Gotta buy the Juno vinyl on Amazon soon. Oh shit, it went up by $10.